Hello and welcome to the third part of the Clash of Heroes mini-tournament. So while this was supposed to be a two-parter, I figured why not milk this shit for what it's worth, so here I am with part 3. In all seriousness though, I hadn't actually considered that there was a whole other part of the tournament I hadn't covered yet, the losers bracket, so that's what this video is going to cover. We're going to go through the same process as in the last video, quarterfinals, semifinals and the finals, with an ultimate showdown between the top 3 of the losers and winners bracket to finish off the tournament. The contestants that got knocked out in the round of 16 and will thus be competing here are Cao Cao, Yuan Shao, Liu Biao, Gong Du, He Yi, Kong Rong, Liu Bei, and Yuan Shu. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to be the best of the rest. Without any further ado, let's find out. The first two losers of today are Cao Cao and Yuan Shao. Gonna be an interesting commander versus commander battle here. One we haven't seen yet. Two characters not really meant for dueling. Both characters also using the unyielding earth ability immediately. Just gonna make the first 30 seconds of this battle incredibly exciting, as both characters essentially cannot be hit. They increase their melee evasion by 100%. Very useful ability. In duels as well, as we have seen. I mean, even though these characters aren't duelists, having that ability makes them survive duels significantly longer than they otherwise would. But as you can see here, two commanders fighting each other with that ability doesn't really cause a lot of havoc. But the ability is now run out. You can see the damage being done. Cao Cao taking the lead a little bit against Yuan Shao here. Yuan Shao, massive helmet, apparently not helping him through this one so far. His armor is a little bit higher than Cao Cao's. Cao Cao has more damage though, arm piercing and base. But in return, Yuan Shao has a slightly higher melee attack rate. The animations are nice and all, but really it's all about the statistics. Looks like Cao Cao's gonna make it through though, from the looks of things. Which means he would be up against either Liu Biao or Gong Du. We'll see that one after this. Pretty sure Cao Cao's gonna make it through. Well, Yuan Shao not quite dead yet. Cao Cao's health is dropping. This is actually getting closer and closer. I thought he had it. He had quite a lot of HP. Still even. Is he? Oh my god, he's actually lost. How has he done that? After Cao Cao made it seem like he had that fight in the bag, it appears like he became complacent and ended up losing to Yuan Shao, who's made it through to the semi-finals. The next battle is between an old man and Gong Du. If we're honest here, Liu Biao has not had a lucky bracket in this one. First he was up against the Dong, now he's up against the Gong. One man weighing over 600 pounds, the other having a gigantic mace on top of a stick. It's not fair. Liu Biao, I mean, he performed admirably against Dongzhu and actually almost won. Oh, Gong Du making it more fair by turning around and letting Liu Biao just attack him in the back, but he gave up on that strategy. It didn't appear to be working for him. He's actually fighting back like most people do when they're in a duel. Currently, looks like Gong Du might be a little bit ahead, but it's not. It's close, honestly. Liu Biao holding his own for now, although he appears to have taken a little bit of damage. Liu Biao also has the unyielding earth ability, which was why he didn't take any damage in the first 30 seconds of the battle. Gong Du's got a whole load of buffs, but I'm not going to go through those because this battle appears to be over very quickly. That massive armor-piercing damage from that mace is certainly doing work on the old man right now, and there he goes. Gong Du makes it through. It wasn't fair for Liu Biao. The old man tried his hardest, but couldn't keep up with the young Gong Du and his gigantic mace staff weapon thing. And that means Gong Du is going to be up against Yuan Shao in the semifinals. We're back to this one again. He Yi versus... Why did he even bother showing up? Actually, it should be Kong, why did you bother showing up? Wrong. Admirably dismounting by He Yi. Despite being a yellow turban rebel, he understands the fact that Kong Rong is not a capable jeweler. Interestingly enough though, because of Kong Rong's ability to increase the cooldown of enemy abilities, He Yi was not able to use any of his skills here. So it really was just a matter of juking it out. Unfortunately, can't even see He Yi's health, but I can assure you it's higher than what Kong Rong's health is like right now. And Kong Rong decides to run away yet again. Heroic victory somehow. Also, I've gotta say, Kong Rong, the only person in this tournament who have survived both his battles, so that's something. He tried his hardest, but Kong Rong, unfortunately, just isn't made for the dueling game. He Yi makes it through to the semi-finals. The last of the quarterfinals is between Liu Bei and Yuan Shu. Again, commander versus commander. I mean, we did have 5 commanders getting knocked out in the round of 16 initially. So really, it makes sense. Liu Bei taking his sweet time there to use his ability, getting stabbed by Yuan Shu. It's going well. Of course, Liu Bei having the, or not having the unyielding earth ability. Yuan Shu, however, does, which is why Yuan Shu is not really taking any damage right now. Liu Bei does, however, have inspiring words, which lasts a lot longer. It only increases his melee evasion by 25%, but it increases its melee attack rate by 33% as well. That's what he was using earlier when he was just standing there for a while. Also, we all know that 2 swords is superior to 1. So this can only really go one way, one would expect. Lovely bit of dueling there from the 2 commanders. Also, it has to be said that Liu Bei's cloak is much more fabulous than Yuan Shu's cloak. And he doesn't have a weird silly hat on his head either, so Liu Bei is the superior man. However, he does appear to be losing, so perhaps I was wrong about all that. Never mind what I just said. Yuan Shu is the superior man. Or is he? Neither character dead yet. Yuan Shu certainly has the upper hand in this one. But I think that inspiring words ability from Liu Bei certainly helping out. Still lower and lower though. Liu Bei probably 1 or 2 hits away from being dead now. But it appears that Yuan Shu is too. It's getting very close. How has neither character died yet? I ask myself. Kick to the face of Yuan Shu. This is neck and neck. Oh, and there it is! Liu Bei makes it through to the semi-finals. There you have it. 2 commanders faced off, and 1 goes through, and it is Liu Bei. Yuan Shu gets down. Liu Bei goes up to the semi-finals. The first of the semi-finals is between Yuan Shao and Gong Du. The big ol' mace boy. Is he going to be able to mace Yuan Shu off of his horse? He certainly is. Oh my good, that took a very big chunk out of Yuan Shao's health as well. Using his unyielding earth ability, which of course means he's not going to be taking any damage for the first 30 or the next 30 seconds. Probably quite useful because that mace seriously hurts when it does hit. It's rather a slow attack rate and it doesn't do any, well, barely any base damage, melee damage, but it does an incredible amount of armor piercing. And unfortunately for Yuan Shao, he's actually got quite a solid amount of armor, so that armor piercing damage is going to go straight through. Currently already down to a little over half HP perhaps, whereas Gongdu is almost full HP still, barely hurt at all. Took a little bit of damage there, but nothing too much. Again, Commander's not really meant for dueling, whereas, well, to be fair, the Veteran not really meant for dueling either, but the Veteran can be more closely compared to a Vanguard. Oh my goodness, I just noticed HP. All of a sudden, Yuan Shao is... Oh, he's actually... Okay, that's it, he's dead. Gongdu makes it through to the finals. With Yuan Shao taken out by Gongdu, who goes through to the finals, there's only 1 commander left in this loser's bracket. We gotta put all of our hope on Liu Bei. The next semi-final is between He Yi and, of course, Liu Bei, as I just mentioned. Liu Bei, the last of the commanders in this tournament. That said, even if we were to lose, it'll still be a 3rd place for 1 commander at least. To be fair, going in with 5 commanders, it would have been, in a total of 8 people, would have been very unlikely if there wasn't at least 1 commander in the top 3, judging from, or seeing as how one of the people of the 8 is a strategist. So you kind of hope. But anyway, it's not over yet, although Liu Bei appears to be losing this quite drastically to He Yi. But there is of course the chance that Liu Bei somehow makes a comeback and makes it all the way through to the final, but currently not appearing that way. We've seen stranger things though. Liu Bei, of course, again having that inspiring words, quite solid. Would probably like to have his would like to have the unrelenting, unyielding earth ability as well, but unfortunately he doesn't. If he had both those abilities, it would actually be kind of a killing machine, but or at least a defensive machine. Be dodging many attacks, but that is not the case. And He Yi slowly whittling down Liu Bei. 2 swords, not better than a spear, as we are now finding out. He Yi is stabbing away with his little peasant spear. His little straw hat. But the straw hat's better than the fabulous cloak than that Liu Bei has apparently. Kick to the face though, a little bit of insult. Not insult to injury though, because he barely injured the man. Another kick though, insult to insult. Liu Bei is still holding on, he's not dead yet. If there appears to be, whenever people get low, they just don't want to die. At that point they're like, wait a second, I'm almost dead. Let's put in some effort. Oh, no, never mind, he's dead. That's it. He put in all the effort, but it wasn't enough. Liu Bei has gone down and He Yi has made it through to the finals, which means we've got 2 yellow turbans in the finals, and of course, a yellow turban winner of the actual tournament that we saw last episode, or last video. So, yeah, yellow turban's pretty good. Before we look at those yellow turbans duking it out, however, we're going to take a look at who gets 3rd place. It's going to be between Yuan Shao and Liu Bei. Yuan Shao getting the first hit off on Liu Bei. Doing a little bit of damage, of course, knocking him off his horse. Mostly, just makes Liu Bei feel bad more than anything. Slight hurt, maybe get the wind knocked out of him a little bit, but... Again, unyielding earth available for Yuan Shao, so he's not going to be taking any damage for the first 30 seconds. Liu Bei, again, having the inspiring words ability though, increasing his melee evasion and melee attack rate. Gonna help him a lot throughout the battle. But of course, as all abilities are being spammed the moment they're available for this tournament, the first 30 seconds of that buff are going to be kind of wasted, again, because Yuan Shao has a full-on 100% melee evasion rate, so he can't get hit. Doesn't matter what kind of ability you do, it just doesn't hit you, unless it's, of course, a ranged ability. That said, Yuan Shao not having done too much damage to Liu Bei while his ability was going, and his ability is now indeed run out, so Liu Bei appears to be bringing this back a little bit. Definitely still behind, but kicking once again in the face. Liu Bei loves a good kick, it seems. Should also mention, I mean, a bit late for this, but people have asked me, like, how did I manage to get 2 AI to actually use their skills constantly? It's because I didn't. Well, not 2 AI, they 1 AI essentially, and then me. But I actually had a friend help me out with all these battles. We just didn't multiplayer and then spammed every ability the moment they became available, essentially. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair, because I tested it against AI, and the AI just doesn't use their active ability. They use the buffs, but they don't use the, like, splash damage abilities at all, basically. So that kind of ruined it. Makes it very one-sided. So against a player, a lot more fair. Anyway, back to the fight. Liu Bei appears to be winning now. He's actually brought it back a little bit, though it's very much similar again now. I think both players are, again, they're both characters on that last little bar of HP now. Which doesn't mean much to the game, apparently. It's like the 90th minute in football. Oh my god, Yuan Shao's done it! Liu Bei is out! Among commanders, Yuan Shao reigns supreme. He's actually made it to the 3rd place in this tournament. Now, however, it is time to find out who is going to be the victor of the actual losers. Who is the best of the rest? It is Gongdu versus He Yi. Yellow Turban versus Yellow Turban. As I said, of course, the Yellow Turban, Yuan Shao, winning the tournament as well in the previous video. So there's going to be quite a few Yellow Turbans featured here. They all appear to be quite solid duelists, which from the name I've said this before, but it doesn't seem to really make any sense. He Yi being a healer, you wouldn't really expect a healer to be any good in melee, or well, yeah, in melee, or especially in duels, perhaps. If I hear the word healer, I probably would closely compare it to a strategist if I just heard it. And the same goes for Scholar, which of course is Yuan Shao, who won the tournament. He's a Scholar. If I think of a Scholar, I think of a bookworm, right? I don't think of someone who's got a blade in their hand and slaughtering thousands of people. But apparently that's the case. That said, however, the veteran makes a little more sense. If I hear of a veteran, I definitely think of someone he's been in the wars, he knows what's up. He's done battle. Like this one right here against the healer Yi. So far going up very even. Possible to say he's going to win this one so far. In fact, I think the health bars are exactly the same. Gongdu going a little bit lower there than Yi. The thing about Gongdu is, though, that he can sometimes, if he gets a good hit, he can do a ton of damage because of that armor-piercing damage. He doesn't need to hit every attack, but as long as he hits every once in a while, he will do a load of damage. And sometimes you'll see chunks going off of the opponent's HP bar. Right now, though, Yi definitely winning this one. Well, it's not over yet. Ability-wise, both characters mostly using buffs. Go with a desperate cry from Gongdu, giving him both armor piercing as well as base melee damage, and a little bit of charge bonus, which is irrelevant. Killing Ground, reducing the opponent's melee attack rate and doing a bunch of splash damage. Yi, reducing the opponent's melee damage and doing a bunch of splash damage. It's all similar. He also has the melee evasion and armor increase, but it doesn't help him enough. Gongdu is the best of the rest. And there you have it. Gongdu is the winner of the losers. But wait, there is more yet to see. For the final battle, I'm gonna go through this one a little bit more fluently. I've got a grand finale here, a couple units as well, just to make this look a little bit more epic. While the duels go on around, units will be fighting each other. But yeah, like I said, I'll look through this one a little bit more fluently. I could even turn off the UI, but that kind of defeats the purpose because we won't be able to see the HP. This was more of a bit of fun, though, I have to say right away. This wasn't really supposed to be like the top 3 versus the top 3, which it essentially is, but again, since there's other units in this fight, it's more difficult to really see if it actually ends up being exactly that. Especially because it's difficult to spam all the abilities of all 3 units whenever it needs to be done. So anyway, but we got Yuan Shao versus Ma Tong, the third place of the actual tournament, and the third place of the losers bracket. I should say the winners bracket instead of the actual tournament. It's both of the actual tournament. We got second place He Yi of the losers bracket versus Sun Jian of the winners bracket, second place. And then of course Gongdu versus his fellow yellow turban Huang Shao, the scholar, the winner of the actual winners bracket tournament. Pretty interesting, actually. Of course, I've already done this before. But actually a pretty interesting result, as you'll soon find out. No major upsets, but there was certainly one. I'm going to keep our eye on this one right here, because it's going to be the one that's over first. Yuan Shao versus Ma Tong. Ma Tong, of course, beating Cao Cao in the first round, which Yuan Shao had to do as well to be able to make it through to the semi-finals in the losers bracket. Which now means he's up against Ma Tong. Both players having defeated Cao Cao, and there you go. There's the minor upset in this battle, and that is that Yuan Shao has actually managed to defeat his opponent in Ma Tong, which I found was quite interesting. So the third place character there, the losers bracket character, actually winning, and then Sun Jian managing to defeat He Yi. So Sun Jian, second place against second place, also ends up with almost full HP after all that. And then the final battle, it wasn't really surprising here. Huang Shao does indeed perform better than Gongdu, but to be fair, Gongdu managed to do a fair amount of damage to Huang Shao. I think he did more damage to Sun Jian than Sun Jian did to Huang Shao in the final of the previous video. So I thought that was quite entertaining. But yeah, this was, again, this grand finale thing was more of a little bit of fun. It wasn't supposed to be super serious. We know who the winners are, the winners bracket. We know who the winners are, the losers bracket. And this was just a little bit of cherry on the top, I suppose. That is going to do it for the Clash of Heroes mini tournament, for real this time. As I mentioned last time, however, there will be more of these in the future, and you're still more than welcome to throw your tournament ideas in the comments. Finally, if you're thinking of purchasing Free Kingdoms yourself, you're in luck. I am affiliated with 2Game, an official online retailer that's currently selling Free Kingdoms at a very attractive price. And if you use my code SmartDonkey at checkout, you get an additional 10% off as well. You'll get an official Steam key upon purchasing the game. If the game is region locked for you, just change the currency in the top left of the screen and that'll fix it. If you'd like to just support me making this type of content instead, make sure to check out my Patreon page. All the relevant links will be in the description. Thank you very much for watching, I hope you've enjoyed. Have a good day and goodbye.